no boy magimedwa ye duru ha se to dia na ye nsem akese nko a se wo pe nsem no kore no atie ana wo pa asem papa a wo Ashanti mem Ghana mem be bia wiase be bia atie dia hwe Ashanti Prime TV ho ne no kore no ewo me see Ashanti Prime TV so pe o tie news pa ana wo pe be bia asem a ye ka no unkobusu obi na pe no kore wo mu a hwe Ashanti Prime TV no kure no ahanko ana wo
Odia Solomon Opokunie ye fredwuma abafie de ne be TV a obeka nsem papa a kire yen no oba me yehunu no papa ekoso ewo wiase tisi ye TV papa ne tie nsem pa ewo kure yimu dia ye fanto be biase Ashanti Prime TV e wana me hwele de bia entiso Fao TV Neto Ashanti Prime TV. Keep watching Ashanti Prime TV. We love you all. God bless you.
Ashanti Prime TV. Aha, and I no carry the war.
You didn't come on over your fear film and conquer me as a yet them any impo is.
Sing unto the Lord a new song.
Premo ato omanade sheme mo bibiara han mama makwaba ediaba Ashanti Prime TV so emra so sense ma yensa ka wo man Ghana eni ama hodogo so ani osemufuo ejina ntenten no akurichi edi agukrata so edi ama me ne de ba besom mo e wo Kasiebo kwan so ensem awie me de ba besom mo ne do so ne obetie bi enie ene ipanyini pa woda eye asue ye hwa pomuden ho nsem so eyo nmonyamfo kwabena minta akando edi nsem bi ato abontene Science and Ghana Statistical Service and Pennyfo Akasa. And some winnings in Maudopia Kanye de Babesum was a prime. And we are Premotobre Kasiebo, and a mere Medicasiebe Besum with dear Majeswo. And a mess now start to reach hotel Abasisia. Mesan so am akwa babiem ediaba Ashanti Prime TV. So channel so ma say Kasiebo benye bi share Facebook Ashanti Prime TV, YouTube Ashanti Prime TV, and na TikTok and say Ashanti Prime TV. O sha no akomente. All like no wa share ede amame. Afi ka me ho ene yem pense nsem no mu. Eyo so for sharp mu de ho nsem so eyo no munyamfo kwabena minta akando no akasa ede ato abontene say e kamia ese na nsin mu eye complaints about nurses any and doctors for no ya adults when you obeti yes go bi ahwere ne nkwa e wa ya resabie bi esan sebre edi nkopie mu e wo honom no adoctor for na sa nurse for wo honom endi wo ndwuma eyi eno enu okasa edi ato abontene say nurse for any adoctor for a won hu ebon eye san nsem mu nyina na ya de edi asotwe da honom ayede e ba abema wo
self-bound without any proper realization. And we believe that we should be able to implement all the game-changing findings. You can be a health worker, not necessarily a doctor. But if you work in a hospital and somebody collapses right in front of you and you cannot even do first aid, I think that is despicable. This is something that must happen, and we must put a time limit to it so that everybody gets properly trained.
First and foremost, Prof and your team, I thank you so very much for the thorough work done. In the first place, I constituted a 3-member committee, but in your wisdom, you realized that you needed more hands to do a good job. I thank you for that judgment. And just to assure you, the details of the report, especially the recommendations, will be implemented to the letter. And therefore, without wasting much time, I want to accordingly direct my chief director, the chief director of the Ministry of Health, to write to the following people, the following health professionals, and their hospitals, and their regulators, that disciplinary actions be taken against them. We had already started the electronic bed management. And so at that point, we're doing the barcoding and the inventory taking of all beds, beginning or piloting with the regional hospitals and the teaching hospitals. So today, ladies and gentlemen in the press, will have the opportunity to visit that particular site at Greater Accra Regional Hospital to see the progress made so far. That is an action the professor was talking about. With these few words, I want to repeat.
Additional by Yetwa and some new Sunene Ghana Statistical Service and Penny for Akasa, Eddie Atua Bontine says, "Oh my Ghana, ye and Falton Kakra, share a year a future mu 2025, a year April Bossome, near the 2 a year a 2026 April Bossome, one nature say, a year a fee, a yadia near my boy, a costunani na and say, a dreadful be home, ma or cofani a man about Sebea or better so, a mania wokoto and whom I hand on so and whom. I ding Edia Major for into a best day. Sissy, I buy one homodin be a sending a mabo a beba from then so say a jelly phone and so amboa a bina nature said the abino a yin and a bay a bregu to a best day, seeing I am more boy who said a bay a near mabo a bit to me a coffin.
26 inflation caused soar by 3.4%. On no, as I said, Yefa nzama nkrofototo wa Ghana ha na se yehwe one bo in April 2026 na yede dem nzama no bon yede compare ne bo in last year, that's April 2025 yehu da nzama no bon wakosoro by 3.4%. na dem 3.4% Obi beside na last year, no ya him. That's April 2025. No ya him. April 2025, na inflation no ya 21.2%. And here between April 2025 na April 2026, inflation will perform by 17.8 percentage points. Now, secondly, yes, short term, yes, March, just last month, last 2 months, March, now April. On the or called then. Now, if you data no, on between March, now April, and the book so by 1%. Yes, inflation in Ghana for April 2026 and still low in terms of annual. That is, the full year. But between just March and April, we so kakra by 1%. Also, them so or there ubia many bado no there inflation or look so month by month. Na mbwebia ana mfutu bia yebetu ye ho na yede tu ye ho. Na yehwa adami
Adeshiman ba ye to ensem ne so anene eye Africa policy lens mpanimfo akasa e de ato abontene sa ade echi ade esenyi na ye ade ayete e wa ba efuntinten fidie yuso osene ye mabo akofom ukọ adwaman so asidi enso enyabo amasisi asidi no chesi ana chesi eye dollars nene nso ye koye na fiefie mu ye ade ekom ekum eye Ghana adehye no madwene ho mo nti ase nti omo sere se mpanimfo emra emeyi wona no no ekutan bi nso no san so esusu se eye ade aban no nso ebo ne homodin esanse ye hwesesi asidi no enyabo ekakra ukọ adwaman nso anka ne mabo akofom ekakra ne nso eye maame mu anase papa mu edwadifo ne se be ye omo nso bete ne ma no wa adwaman so no on bete ne ma no so ne no ene ho akwakoye de no nti ekom ene eku eye Ghana adehye binum ewo no afiefie
the ebisa ya hu se so emfaso de a yenya se oman aye macroeconomics no enipa temamufo no ehun faso de ne we he emfaso be na temamufo no enya wo ho enna ye se ye ne Ghana fo be twetwe nkomo na ye bisa won ensemfua bebre a efa won yedie mu ensane ye ka na well being na ye bisa sa nsem nyina no ye keka si ani na wo keka oman Ghana nyina se ye yedie se oman a ejina aduonum wotwe ene echidepo kakra 58%. Na interpretation ede masa number no ne se oman no ase abofra osua nante ampa watumi atutu ne nan a na mumu ne nan entintimu ye enti yentumi mfa yensa nsi ye mbonka se yenyiye die no afedie atoyiye ade ba ko a ekire se yenyiye die etesen a obiara oye Ghana ni efa no ho eye ne efa ne cost of living index koli eno kire se nia wuhia ede adidi to aduane wonsaka aduane ese wudi o ese obia tuminya aduane beye emprensa dakro so eye no kwasem se obia tumi enya sa ne ma etesa enyina hoden a yede bobra ai so tumi tuaka ye fe ne light no ya ese ye nyina kan ya adwen bom
that what this report is even saying is that yes enti
ene banbo eye adwumayefo a wo moda eye na hye so miche eye immigration for ena akasa de ato abontin sese Ghana ye na hye binom so aye true ye pa ne nyina ene se ahye ne binom so no wukopie mu ewo hono ma yade ampanimfo anase enkrofo etwa kwan edi afa baabi foforo bitumi fa ho efiri ne man so bewura mu oman Ghana mu hase aye hu kwan ya nipa ne befa so kora edi aba bewura mu anum se yesan so ana eha adwene nti obesere se asoye ehwe bambo ho nsem so emwa no omudwubedi a omudi no munhye mu kina se de be ya ekwan biara aban engine to musi wobi ebefa so de awura Ghana hase ni ebehwe ni yesi kwan no anase ebema bambo ho nsem akoyi ewo sa kwan so
quite wide apart, stretching all the way from Tumu in the upper west region to the end of upper east. There are several borders dotted along the stretch. And aside the approved points of entry, where we call the control, there are numerous unapproved routes, especially during the dry season, where people can crisscross between the two countries. And if you have such a situation and you are battling with a threat of extremism from Burkina Faso, you ought to be worried. Because at every given point, at any given point, somebody with any ill motive can easily use a path that can lead into Ghana or out of Ghana to carry out any activity that may be detrimental to the peace and security of the country. So we are pleading with the stakeholders, non-governmental actors, and of course the youth, that we have to come together with a concerted effort as security actors, government on the side, the non-governmental organizations, so that with the limited number of personnel that we have across the borders, information sharing, which is very key, that we can get through the citizens and for that matter the youth, because they can serve as an interface between us and the aged population. And they are also vulnerable to being used by criminal elements to perpetrate their acts, be it from trafficking, smuggling, or violent extremism. If you read the literature on extremism, their target is the youth who are vulnerable.
When we look at the number of conflicts that we have in this region, it's not just because people move in from Upper East region here to Accra or Boka, from Boka to Accra or Kumasi to buy arms. Most of them are coming from the Sahel and the Gulf region. So this workshop will go a long way.
Ene efiada eni enuanom omuhye BC nsohwe no ase no ene no omode last paper ehyehyɛ so na kyese ne ene omode nsohwe ni nyina eba na wie ye no nanam so amamra hyebedwani edemo kan Queen North abato empasuaso ye ma Teresa Laji Awini one ni MC ye wo honom ekwa apro ekohwe eye exams eye centers ahodo no sade nsohwe no ekona bro kopie mu ho no ene wokasa ede ato abontene se ya ade aban ahye won se eye nuanom a wo mo kire ensohwe obi obebo ne ho modin bia no mo behwe ne wo mahwe nipa na kosisi obewie SHS na so obo ne ho modin a omo science the university atwa so we no science so ebo wo mo kokko so obesere se apodie omo hwe no omo ntwe omo ho emfiri ho kra
na yenya first hand observation of the BC ASHANTI. This is the second one in the governance of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. And in the research agenda, one thing we are changing from the minds of students, cheating is a no-go area. Or when they cheat, it becomes a dangerous thing for our human resource buildup. However, His Excellency in the research agenda, they are turning to say country students over through university in the next year will be pass the exam from JHS to SSS. Your school fees for the first year is paid. This is to encourage them that pass the exam at the JHS level, go to the SS, pass the exam, and when you get to the university, at least for the first year, you have school fees free. Then also for those who are disabled, for them throughout, they have free payment for them. However, the catcher will also say they should rise up to the challenges of education going forward. Education is more expensive with time. Therefore, they must also ensure that fee at the same time. Teacher funds by now, together we produce the best of human resource we need for this country.
Adishimai ba yentua ensem suneni eye former KMA boss eyo nwanyamfo sampine ne wakasa ede ato abontene se ade a eni aban no eye enieme bi kura wono odwene ho a sebi wonte ase isanse ye hye eye Accra Kumasi highway na ade aban dada eye NPP aban no ebaye no ye bypass ahodo bebra ebi wo hono mokrampa wo hwa eye oye wa hanchi chemu eye eduoso ana chese 70% eye complete na ka bibi kitu bi na nkoma ye na bypass ashasi edijuma ne nso aban ebaye ade wo yi na adwen kura de free so no ahye project for so se esanso a emwa eyoman ni sika en wo sei ne kwa
enkane na wudu nsawom na wunya baabi mfa na butrinye na chofifo no ene baya chefo no block bridge bu na wo de kwa dojiri no a ubetumi adi 3 hours president Kufo ehu se ye hu bibia beye ene yi bypass no ebedatu nsawom achi similar situation na won kokko ene yi nkokko bypass no nana dam Kufo ado aban hu se yi bypasses na sa issues we see no dodo no ebekọ. And the major bypasses no near yehu adwuma ebi 70%, ebi 60 something percent. The uncle anymore crown I think is 61% or so. Ye jagu hot 17 months me Bosume baako mienu miensa dunson ene agya gu ho yesi enko ho yesi ekoyi kwan foforo no so mo se be di mfie miensa ansa na etme yi kwan foforo no enti mfie miensa no ye be endure this hardship aho tese e oya we sei ene aho kire mfie miensa na asem bi ntu de wo soldier pikin tu betumi aka kire me yesi soldier for no air clear site and no anami bisa ndis ne bi di matem poto me see woman na wini contract na
Devi
na eyam nwanwa say obi be yi kwan a obi na ekodo ho ansana
ene ye mpanimfo moda eye Ghana Medical eye Trust Fund no a ene eye mahamake o mafado ye kwan so edisika pudua enya agoro akoma ye nuanom a eye wo agentity ye awie no aba be ye eye apomudin adwuma yefo so wonfeju eye sika yi emtoa eye omonhye omadesua ehun nsem so wonfe sika no inhye dwumadi no se de be ya daachi bia no oman Ghana ntumi enkoba se ye ni eye apomudin adwuma yefo ewo man yi mu
4 core mandates. Your mandate no enye se obi oyare nko na ohia mboa yetua sika ye den ahwe no ye were other 3 important points so a ewo sa mandate no mu wako any say you be training specialist nurses any healthcare workers so that omobe boa a doctor for no mo aye den ahwe omo persons living with a non-communicable disease. Because a doctor said, "Oh, yeah, Juma, no, when you're nurse or you're specialist, I'm buana, sa nipano or shena, nurse ben a bed and a bebuano. First, nunca, I see a do bar cry na kumasi, they be training a specialist. Sa specialist, no be ya, no, your doctor will be a she, and no, your doctor was Savannah, ho baby. Yenya, the neighbor kumasi and na crass on Brascua, na hospital no one or a day. Doctor Nefi number 1 ni hobium because waba or be specialize. Sesi and yesi the specialization e call omo doorstep so that baby a we adwuma bia no ye betimi ebie branch wo ho a we betimi esua o specialist no wo ho na wasan ye wadwuma aye den e wo the same place na ye need doctors ni ye wi a intimi nja wo ho e se ye hwe nurses ni pharmacists no omo buo omo mamo ye den omo ye omo adwuma no inti na ye signed nurses and midwives college for ne baye so omo so mbrambeji omo de no omo ntimi training 100 specialist nurses omo betimi a complementary doctors no doctors no so etimi aye den aye omo adwuma statistics na show say about 45% of ewu a esi wo ye kromu ha no is attributed to non-communicable disease. It is a nya specialist pharmacists now. On betimi prescribing drona boa a supported doctors and nurses na ye omwedwuma ebeboa.
Sa sika ya be ebeboa yen if we say yen sesi ano pharmacists bi opeso ye specialist training no e was say ono ankasa pesika anase bi an facility e mani sika se on meye enye automatic ebinum ho no mo a other cadres of health professionals na e bi ho
informa eyekura ewo sene west mensini mu ewo bono east mountain mu na akopiem ewo honom abe America kranie na nsu a enya agoro etoye ewo honom ema adehie bebre ehwe wonja padie na eno nanam so amenei aban afanadmu eso edisika puduo na afenso niema enjensen a yedebo dan so cement ene niema hodo a eka yedi esidan no odidi akodom adehie a omwo enframa se wona won hu ekaye no wonhwe na wonfa wei enhye bibi ase kakra na se emre anase dachi bia no emwa ewo hono na ewo se aban esan so de mwa ekoma adehye ewo hono ma wontwentwen wona ase krobeko ede akomo
Paye, value and a boy as Ropaye. Disano my Omampani, the Afanadmu Assoye. Say young famram from a mine adishia. Now, how to be them fan kitchen berry. On no changes on Iranian free bay. Or Yamua or Bemaya Sanswaba. Not yet any other share. Senior Bassitremu or Coso Ayam Frama. Now, on no changes so when you force or Kaunantia or account to one Musanti. Nipa binom tuma mu a ya na mpempi be yakomaka e de boa o man oye atebebude hie baako a be frɛ no Mr. Achampon dey ne neire abruchima mu ne bete enti ono susu kura ne nsem
cement 100 bus sɛnea ɔmampanyia yei ɔno nso wɔyɛ bi de aka ho na yɛde aboa mframaman me ankasa me MP honorable Chumasi for Sunny West ɔno nso so aba donation sika donation a ɔno nso so de abɛboa timamufoɔ ɔno firi hɔ nso so a chairman a ɛyɛ constituency mu ɔno nso so abrɛ bɛ cement as donation a ɔno nso so de abɛboa nti mefa nyankopɔn so ada bɛ nyinaa ase sɛ nyankopɔn ɔnhyira bɛ nti mframa no ɛyɛ kurodin na ayerɛ hɔ sɛ mframa atumi abɛfa mframa ma ɔmo adan ne abubuo ɔmo adan so apa na ɔmo ayɛ homeless si foforɔ ɔba na ɛde na adan su bɛyɛ nyame adom
Yanto ansɛm ne so ɛwɔ Gomua East ne ne mensi ne krachia wɔ hɔnom ɛyɛ onmunyamfo Margaret Akom na wakasa ɛde ato abɔntene sɛ ɛyade a yɛ nuanom a wɔ mu ɛtwerɛ BC nsohwe aban ɛde nhyehyɛ paato hɔnom ɛde ama wɔn sɛ mmɔfra wɔ nim adeɛ nanso sɛbi ebi enifie sika enifie so wɔde beto a wɔn mesua nso no mo yɛ mu nhyehyɛ wɔn korɔ mo de ane so bɛbɔ wɔn homɔden atwerɛ ɛyɛ nsohwe no no matwa kama aban ɛbɛfa ɛyɛ senior high schools ahodoɔ mbɛkɔ ne nyinaa aban ɛbɛfa ho ka na ɔde zinwe to abɔntene ɛbra ɔde na probo ekopie mu ɛwɔ exam centers ahodoɔ a ɛwɔ Gomua East ɛwɔ Bonomantam
said the needy barbarian assembly near the educational support. Among 8 ones and then the 10 ones. Last year, it means 100 people a support. This year, I am in Pai Boss, you bring 200 and over. Now, it me a boosted district. 8 ones and 10 ones. Now, yeah, it's difficult to get. But we you 1, or we 2, or we 3, or we between 9, between creating your time result. But to get the 8 ones and then the 10 ones. Na enye easy but ni na tuen ye kwa man kwala no dam ankrahye sam ne se ni otwo bia no onkoso ncho na bibia so nya de mawurade wo hwe ne ye akwa na mo kasa dodo na gyan mo science o mo cho and drag se science eye den and then with this mass me the way at the faso at the ashe aban painful yenim se nkwala no eye JHS school no more con they teach them how to use the calculator. But during the exams, they are not using the calculator. And then mass and say idea for more fast but it's very difficult. And into no see to intro this calculator during exam center or SHS. Me plead me sure buying me champagne for can be a woman say JHS and so no you be make the good use of the calculator. You be introduce that calculator using na exams time during mass. Omo etumi ayeden use na ayeden aboa enkola and nso because since you know yes ye bibi akwa technology calculator too is part of technology nti ya bia dwen ya kakra na calculator no so ayeden aboa eden ya ye be kombia you could see there's a fan baby or light or fan or
Yet one some so a will be mine so the ane enkopie mu ewo Nigeria be America krani na beto abontene se eye nyanka fie a ewo honom ade nipa bomfo bi ekwocheche emofra ewo honom edi won ekosie na cheso market na pe enkra no ne asrafo a ewo Nigeria nyankopon aya adome mamofra ye cheche wo mu esie no mahwehwa akohumu enso a omo ho enkan ya wode won abre won adehie.
Happened in late April when gunmen raided on unregistered orphanage in central Kogi state and took 23 children along with several adults. Most of the children were released shortly after, but 7 remained missing. In a statement on Thursday, the army said troops successfully rescued the remaining victims after what he described as sustained search and rescue efforts. The army said those rescued were 5 boys, 2 girls and 2 adult women believed to be the wives of the orphanage proprietor. Officials in Kogi State had earlier said the orphanage was operating illegally in a remote area without state registration. Masking.
So obi man so nsɛm so ɛwɔ Somalia na okopie mu ɛwɔ hɔnom a adehye ɛwɔ hɔnom ɛne wɔ ma no dam yie pa sɛ ɛpɛ a esi hɔnom no ɛnyɛ pɛketoa ɛne nsu a ɔde bɛsɔ omi ne mukura ano ɛden na mente me ho ase asan so ama ne hom ne so ɛwɔ hɔnom no ɛha adwen yie nti omu bɛsere sɛ mprempren a ɛpɛ esi hɔ nsuo kuro mu nya bi no mu de nka wɔn a ɛkontɔkɔ obi amfa na akɔdeɛ engu fam.
Rate soars, the race is on to stop another hunger catastrophe. But several international organizations have had to stop operations in the Kismayo camp, in large part due to aid cuts made last year by US President Donald Trump. Even when a little rain fell before, it didn't last. That small amount is now gone, and if rain doesn't come soon, people may start dying just like the livestock. People depended on livestock, and now the livestock are gone. Everything's been lost. Somalia is facing one of the most complex hunger crises in recent years, driven by drought, conflict, large-scale displacement, and severely limited humanitarian assistance.
What we're seeing across the entire country is a malnutrition crisis. We simply don't have the resources to respond as we should do. This is made absolutely worse because of the Middle East crisis, which is raising prices across the whole country, fueled by 150%, even food commodities by at least 20 or 30%.
Experts.
Ene mpanimfo a omo Angola and afenso Gabon atenase ehia ehu se ya de amanaman mienu obia ehia ne yonko ende Angola ehia Gabon sanso na Gabon enso ehia Angola na san ne se dia ene na enkitahudi eda ya amanaman mienu ntem no de wonsan ASHANTI asen apomase no ahye kena se de be ya obetumi aboaboa won ho.
President Ngema said Gabon was looking to benefit from Angola's experience in tourism, agriculture and other industries. We also discussed diversified partnerships. As you know, Angola and Gabon are oil-producing countries, but in Gabon, we also need to move away from dependence on oil revenues. It is in this regard that we would like to draw on your experience in tourism, agriculture and other sectors. We also want to strengthen our capacity in oil production. President Lorenzo praised Gabon's political transition under Ngema, saying the country's efforts to restore constitutional order had positive implications for the continent. Fortunately, the Gabonese authorities led by Brice Ngema, who had this vision of restoring constitutional order, have brought gains to Gabon, gains to Africa as well. It is everyone who had benefited from the stance that Gabon has taken. The visit marks another step in strengthening regional cooperation between the two Central African.
Kasiebo nye bi share Facebook Ashanti Prime TV, YouTube Ashanti Prime TV and TikTok, and so Ashanti Prime TV we shall no comment or like no wa share de amame. Shannon so mama sense mama de beso mo wie edoso ni edi makotini bi enie. Ene health minister onmunyamfo Kwabena Minta Akando edin sembi eto abontene san so na Ghana Statistical Service etwanitia efrene GSS mpanimfo enso ekasa nsem weni nsema odo pie kanam de besom wo na ene Ashanti Prime TV ade ayegusua epe MCL technician na afenso cameraman enti se wuye obi a wonim adwuma na wote adwuma na se ene netutumika Ebrahim Estate ene ne mpanimfo emetwetwe enkomo no mu nkwan ebefa so a yemienu nyina yebetumi aboaboa ye ho ana se number da screen so yi fa number no ne frɛ mpanimfo no moma wonkyeremu a ebro media so na ansa na mesori so no na ene ye share wonmunyamfo anemfo nyini eda fidikasie yi so minister Ike, our husband, ene wawoda. We say if you wa ho kani ehonom Mrs. Mafo ojo. O say niwra ene wawoda de no was re obo ade insure edema. Erade entutu anamon nsisi ye emfamao. se wode eye aware eho animonyam ahye ne sei ne sai na Ewurade enhyira na ne ohwehwe nyina Ewurade emma no embrem emma. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Isaac Mafu. Nyankopon enhyira na wontutu anamon ensisi ye. Adehyeman ba ahanum sei na brebe makwan amamede kase ne nyina esie din amejeso ene mesnafsat makra obia.